Now here we go. Boom. This is another one for YouTube. This is round 2. You already know. Chat, say hi to YouTube. YouTube, say hi to Twitch. And Twitch, say hi to YouTube and all that stuff, right? Okay, so this is round 2, right? I just came up from Charlotte. This is round 2 in the tournament. Learned a lot from this tournament. We ready for Chicago. 2 weeks is going down, right? So this round 2. Round 2, I'm playing John Oyemi or Yemi, right? Oh Yemi. Fawole, right? So he's actually really strong. But and I played him in New York. We got a draw, right? So here we go. I'm playing white here. This is the second round, and first round I got a draw. So for the second round, I'm ready to fight, right? So the name of this one, actually, when you see the YouTube or when you see the thumbnail for it, of course, is called "What a Night." What a night. Yes, pun intended with a K. So you know, what a night. All right, let's see what happens. So E4, C5, right? Knight F3, D6. Okay, and I know from prep he's a Najdorf player, right? I like Najdorf myself, right? Shout out to the Najdorf players, and we've done the Najdorf series here on YouTube. So make sure y'all check that out as well on the page. So D4, C takes, Knight takes D4, and Knight F6, which hits the pawn, right? I know this is all coming based off of prep of me just prepping for him anyway. Knight to C3, A6, we have a Najdorf Sicilian. So in these Najdorf Sicilians, I'm a big fan of the Bishop G5 lines right here. So I play Bishop G5, boom. Bishop G5, and he goes E6. After E6, this is still theory right now. So after the E6 lines, the sharp stuff is F4. He goes Bishop E7. And then where do you go next, chat? So we always do this. Of course, this is very interactive. And we always put it back on you. So you in the chat watching right now, where do you go? White to move. What's the next move? Joe Bava-ish, kind of. Very Joe Bava-ish. E5 from Quinn. English versus Sicilian. Worship says. English versus Sil, I feels. So you're saying E5, Bishop C4. Okay, very interesting. And another one for E5. Queen F3 from Mickey Dead, guys. F5, someone for F5. So E5, in fact, and E5 is too premature. You should play E5, but not right now. You do need to make sure everything is maybe solid, more solid and consolidated. And also after E5, let me just show you what happens. After takes, an easy move like Knight D5. Literally neutralizes everything. This bishop needs to be traded. I'm trading some pieces, and the pieces that you had developed are now all about to be traded off. And in fact, black's better because this pawn is overextended. You out here looking crazy, right? Don't work. So don't do it. So in fact, Mickey Dead Guy's got the big boy move. He right, Queen F3. That's right. This is the move. Queen F3. This is theory. Queen F3, right? So Queen F3 is a big boy move, right? You're trying to castle queen side still. Put the D-file pressure on him. Maybe G4. Develop the bishop, E5, F5, stuff like that, right? It's crazy. So Queen F3 is good stuff. Queen C7, still theory. I castle, I get out the way, right? So I get out the way. He goes Knight B to D7. And now it's on you, chat, right? So remember, this is called What a Night, and pun intended with a K, what a night, right? Because something's going to happen with the knights, obviously, but where? That's going to be later in the game. But it is right to move. We need to set things up. And you want to be familiar with these type of positions, really from both sides. If you're a Najdorf player, and of course playing against the Najdorf. White to move. What do you do? What up, Quantum? Says yo, Canty. What is up, my man? Good to see you, broski. What up, Quantum? Knight takes E6. Okay. He like hitting. Knight takes E6 right now, which is a very common theme in the Sicilian, sacrificing on E6, especially in like the sows and variations with the bishop on C4. Interesting. What else? 96. What are some other possibilities here? And you gotta be fast. You wanna think quick, right? You have to be quick here. You don't want black, which is going to happen. B5, B4, Bishop B7, Rook C8 type of stuff. Right? Definitely happening. Okay, what happened? All right, we're about to see right here. Knight now E5, F5, Knight takes E6. Here it go. In fact, H4, E5 looks possible. I'm still watching the chat. H4. Okay, this is all good. So the move is G4. It's nothing spectacular. You don't got to lose your mind yet, right? Knight takes E6 is utter garbage right here. Garbage. Knight E6 is not a move, big fella. He just takes it and he gonna stare at you real hard. Real hard stare. I'm out to, bro, what are you doing? You didn't do anything. It's not ready. It's not ready. He wasn't ready. You were not ready, bro. Like, you need to get your pieces developed correctly, and they weren't. So it doesn't work. Oh, you want bishop f6? Okay, bishop takes f6. I can take with any piece, in fact, and knight, but then the knight's good because now I can develop. These are all defended. e5, maybe you can try it now. Takes. I can just go knight d7. I don't even have to take this. I could, but I don't have to. Knight d7. If the bishop is on c4, I think this whole position is different, but it's not. And we're tempo too short. Tempo too short. Queen h5 check, g6. Right, and if queen h6, I can probably take with the knight here. Probably take with the knight. Bishop f4 would be good, but we don't have a dark square bishop, unfortunately. And how many times have we moved this queen and we haven't developed? And it's a sad day for the office, Quantum. It's just not working. It's just not working. It's just not working. But what does work though is g4. Okay, yeah, Quantum was trying so hard. G4 though. G4 is the move. This is what you just get used to doing, pushing these in h4 as well. You push the pawns, it's very easy. Castle, push forward, get the pieces out. Watch the next move, right? He goes b5. Honestly, I mean, great understanding of the positions. What he's trying to do is, look, I'm trying to mate you immediately. So he needs to get his attack off now. So he plays b5 with bishop b7 intentions and b4 and rook to c8, stuff like that. So I need to be fast here. This bishop is usually a problem here. So what I do is take. I take it. If bishop takes b6, can anyone tell me what would you do if bishop takes f6? Now he didn't take with the bishop. But what do you do on bishop takes f6, chat? What do you do on bishop takes f6? Queen says g5. You got another one for g5. e5, e5, e5. Okay, chat, spicy. Oh my goodness. You know, e5 and g5. I like it, chat. Let's look at both. So g5 actually does not work. In fact, with g5, with bishop takes, I know this from the black side. After rook takes, I can play queen to c5 in many cases here. I can also play knight b6. This is just a fine position for black, actually. Believe it or not, I'm just totally fine. And if I turn the engine on, yeah, 0.15. Equal. Super equal. I'm totally fine with black here. I have so many ways. Bishop b7, knight b6. I can even castle here. I still like white, to be honest, because, I mean, I do like to have the space like this. Because black needs to be very accurate. And if you push the wrong pawn, knight e5 comes in. Like, it's weird. It's weird. You have to be accurate as white. And this is very scary sometimes. So g5 actually does not work. Right. It does not work. Okay. How about e5? Well, the problem with e5 is bishop to b7. Right. X Factor, thanks for the 5 gifted, bro. Appreciate you. Let's go. Let's get command 5 in the chat. Thanks for the 5, bro. Big dog energy. Big dog energy. And then a prime from rare. What tournament is this? This was Charlotte. This was Charlotte, my last tournament. Thanks for that, X Factor. Good to see you. Yeah, what's good? Thanks for the gift sub. Yeah, I see it, chat. Y'all are hype. So e5, bishop b7 is a move here, which is just annoying. Like, you're just gonna lose some material. You're gonna lose some material. Let's go back though. Let's go back. Okay, so bishop takes. After bishop takes, in fact, the move here is, y'all ready for this? Are y'all ready? Is bishop takes e5. Whoa. Bro, bishop takes b5 is the move. This is a very, very common theme that you want to get used to. If you've never seen this before, you need to see it right now. Thanks for the sub again there, Rare 805. If you've never seen this move, get used to it. And this is a very common theme that you see in the Sicilian. You sacrifice, and I get 3 pawns for this. If he plays bishop takes d4, then we take on d7 with check first. And then we've just won a pawn. Easy, easy. What if he takes the piece? Well, that's the whole idea here is we take with, you can take with either knight, but this knight, actually this one's not the way to take. I think you lose this way. But this way you take because now I got a second pawn for the piece. After the queen moves, usually to b8, usually. Then we do knight takes d6 with check, right? And then after the king moves, probably the f8, you can play e5. This is usually the standard moves. Take with the bishop, take with the d knight, take again, play e5. That's like the pattern every single time. Especially, I mean, I've done a lot of research here too and looked at a lot of games, but usually the consensus says that if bishop takes, right? If they go bishop takes, you go bishop takes b5, right? And then after a takes, we do knight takes, and then knight takes and e5. And you can push forward with f5, maybe sacking again. You are just crushing in this position. He didn't take it. He knew this. He knew this. And pawn takes just isn't good, right? Pawn takes is no good. I can play f5, and if knight e5, this is very strong stuff I'm showing you here. Queen h3, right? Queen h3, we're going to sit here. It is problems. I can play g5 later. This is very playable for black, but it's just not fun to play as black, to be honest. White has a lot of space. So he takes the natural way, which is the knight. Knight takes f6. I play g5 to kick the knight back. It goes knight d7, and then I make a questionable move from the engine, but I mean, as a human, I play bishop h3. I'm trying to sack on the piece. I mean, on the pawn. He goes knight b6, right? And then I go rook g1 because I want to defend, right? I want to defend the pawn. He goes b4, and my knight moves around to e2. Okay, here we go. He opens up the position with d5. So I was like, I didn't like this too much. I mean, opening up the position, but I'm castle. It's not terrible, but I'm like, I didn't like it. So I take. He takes back. I go f5. And I'm feeling it. I'm like, okay, here we go. And then he goes g6. Bruh. I'm like, oh, snap. Here we go. Here we go, big fella. Here we go. Okay, chat, it's white to move. So remember, this one is called What a Night, right? Pun intended. Because this was a crazy game. It is white to move here, though. There feels like there's something here, obviously. So what do you do then? Definitely feels like something's here. And I'll give you the engine eval too as well. What do you think the evaluation is here too? Let's spice it up a little bit. But it's white to move. He plays g6. We got to figure this out. I can't remember how much time I spent here. I have the sheets. I got to check them out. But I was thinking, and I'm like, what do I play here? Plus 1.2, knight 4. Thank you for putting it funny. f6. Okay. Knight e6. Boy, that's spicy. Ooh. That's a spicy move for him. That's a spicy move. Plus something for sure. And b1, king b1, X Factor with king b1. Is that what you're saying, X Factor? Always play king b1 like Feingold says? b1. Well, in fact, I'm going to tell y'all, first off, evaluation here is plus 1.19. You would think it'd be like plus 3. I mean, plus 2, like easy. But it's actually only plus 1.1. It's not. It's literally not that high. Like, it's not plus 1. Plus 1.1. Looks like very deceiving chess, right? But here, in fact, the best move by the engine is king b1. King b1. Always play king b1. Apparently, king b1 is the best move in this position. You have to be kidding me. Okay. I did not play king b1. I was going to play, well, I'm going to try to win this game right now. I'm not going to play king b1. I did not play f6 either, though. f6, the problem with f6 is this bishop. Okay, yes, I got a pawn here, but like, what I was thinking is later on, if he gets castled, like, how am I going to get to his king? Because I blocked him up. I blocked it all up. And you also want, I remember I was just reading this book. What was the book? Forgot the name. I was just reading, I read so many chess books, but I was reading this chess book, and it was saying, well, we already know this. We already know this, right? But do we actually talk about this a lot? And we're talking about pawns moving backwards. Like, pawns cannot move backwards, right? We know this, and like, you already know this, even if it's your first day playing chess, or even playing chess for many years. Pawns don't go backwards, but this book I was reading really helped me remember that. And I remember actually thinking that thought when I was sitting here about pawns don't go backwards. So if I go f6, I mean, I never ever can get to his king anymore if he castles without trying to push this, and I'm not even sure if I can get that off. So I want to keep the flexibility option open to be able to capture if I need to, or f6 or knight e6. So I don't have to take this or move this right now at all. So I did not go f6. King b1, I'm not playing. Like, what are you talking about? Bruh. Engine was tripping. I'm not playing king b1. And so I'm thinking about where do I go, right? So in fact, I actually do this, which was knight f4. That one I liked a lot. So I was a big fan of the knight f4 move because it looks like, I mean, I'm just bringing a piece in, right? Now remember, what a knight, right? What a knight. It's the name of this thing. So I moved the knight to c3. I've moved it to e2. Now over to f4. This is the route of the knight. Also, exactly, now rook e1's open. I'm threatening this pawn. I might even have knight e6. Like, what a knight for real, my guy. Like, I'm like, bro, this knight is serious. Serious. Oh, you scroll. Quinn called it. Right, there you go, Quinn. See, proud of you, Quinn. That's what's up. See? All right, Quinn been here a long time. He didn't got it. Right, so after knight f4, he sat around and, you know, right, I'm taking, like, this is a real threat. This is a real threat, my guy. Oh, real threat. Okay? Right, I can take this. I can take this. King in the center, right? Cool. And my knight's looking good, right? Knight e6 is looking good. After knight f4, he says, you know what? You can take it. Take it. Take it. Take it. And so he got up. He castled and he got up and he flexed real hard and he started walking around. In fact, he didn't. But that's just kind of how it is in, like, psychological chess warfare, right? Like, he castled. He castled and said, take it, bro. Take it. And I was like, dang, bro, I didn't know you could do that. So, white to move, chat. What do you do now? What do you do? Are you going to take this pawn or not? Are you going to take this pawn or are you not going to take this pawn? If you don't take this pawn, what you going to do then? If you don't take this pawn, what are you going to do? What up, LJ? What's good? F6. How does f6 win, says Jackson. Snap it, Bogus says. Take it. I don't care about none of that. Around here, fam. It's a trap, okay? I'll push f6. Don't take the pawn. I would not. Afraid of bishop b7. Hey, yo, Canty. What up, Krieger? What up, my guy? Move the queen from the h file and mate. Okay. You have the Jackson. Which one? F takes g. Okay. FG. Nice. From Fraudwith. All right, here we go, chat. Y'all ready for this? So let me give you the best move on the engine. The best move is f takes g6. That's the best move. I can't believe this is the best move. I did not play this. Not a fan. Not a fan. I didn't like f takes taking back. Like, I don't want all that over. I'm not trying to open the file. You know, like, I'm good. Oh, LG, I gotta check that out myself. That Doctor Strange movie. But so after castles, right? After castles, f takes. Cool. Not a thing. After f6, we talked about this, right? This locks up the game. After bishop d6, tell me, how do you get to his king? Now he's actually attacking my knight. And I have to figure out, I got to move the bishop, which is misplaced in this situation. I have to push the pawn and get the, you know how long this is going to be, a long time. Also, while defending against his attacks that he can now start speeding up. So I need to be careful. f6 does not work. It actually slows down my entire thing. And if I do bishop c8, then that's going to give him an extra tempo to be already set up. Yes, the knight defends, but it helps him set up quickly. Rook c8, he already has a rook to the file for free. So I'm definitely and never considering bishop c8 because I never want to give him the chance to take, not with tempo, but almost tempo, like close, because the knight is the only thing defending the main. Did you sack on h5, says Quinn? Even like splitting a piece on h5. Okay, let me see. Actually, I actually wanted to see on d5 too as well. I wanted to show this line. Knight takes d5. Knight takes d5. Actually, this is possible. And after queen takes d5, bishop to b7. After bishop b7, it hits the queen, right? And bishop b7, this is crazy. This is crazy. I can play knight e6 here. Bruh. Bro, this is a ridiculous position. But I wasn't going for this at all. I don't want this. I don't want to give him the open position with the bishops. No, I'm not going to take this. So in fact, here it is. Y'all ready for this? Now remember, right, what is this called? This was called What a Knight. The knight went to c3. The knight went to e2 and went to f4, and my man's queen got it. Let's go. Knight h5. It happened. Oh my goodness. This is a family channel, Canty. Yes, I know. Knight c3, knight e2, knight f4, knight h5. I played it on the board. Knight h5 is there. What a night. Oh, what a night. It's about to be crazy. I played knight to h5, and I dared him to take it, right? Right, and he didn't take it, because, like, who's going to take this? Who is going to take this knight? Are you really going to take this knight? No one's going to take this knight. There's, like, mate everywhere if you take this knight, right? That was a brilliant move, right? Yeah, absolutely. Right. And of course, let's just show a line. Queen takes, right? I was thinking, how's he gonna run away? King H8, right? And then I was thinking I could play F6, but Rook G4 is going for mate immediately with Rook H4. I was thinking Rook to G8, right? And then I thought about an F6 here, but it doesn't work. In fact, right now, this is crazy. Let me turn the engine on. Oh my goodness, it's zeros. I have to play King B1 here and then play Rook E1. So this, miraculously, he can take the knight. Wow. And this line runs into some type of draw. But I mean, as a human, are you kidding me? I thought I was just going to play F6, but he has Bishop C5. Oh, wait, sorry, that's D6. Bishop C5. How is this not crushing? I mean, that's crazy. That's crazy. As a human, like, no one. Let's flip the board here, right? Flip the board. Bro, you telling me you about to take... Okay. Okay. You going to take this knight. You going to take this knight? Tell me you're going to take this knight and you're going to get away with it. You're going to take this knight and defend. Okay. Okay. No human's taking this knight, right? Bro, you're not about to take this knight. So he didn't take the knight, which I would not take it either. Like, I'm not taking it either, bro. I mean, what here takes, you have to play King H8, because if you make a move like Rook E8 or like even Bishop D7, I have F6, I have G6, I have anything 6 works here. But F6 I think was my favorite because I wanted to power through with G6 here, or like Queen H6, which is just mating immediately, which is really nice. So I also looked at this line about like what if he moves the Rook, then I can play G6 and power through this way. Takes, I can take with the Rook. But I can also take with the pawn, but Rook takes, and then after pawn takes, Queen takes, King F8, right? And then I can play a check here and Rook G1 check. It's leading to mate. And King F7, where's the mate? Queen G7 is mate, right? Yes, mate. And yeah, so that's your mate. Everything's mate. Mate everywhere, like, no, mate, right? So what a knight, right? So I go knight H5, right? And then he goes Bishop C5. So I'm like, well, cool. Perfect. And my idea here was actually to go knight F6. This was my whole idea, was to actually go knight F6. I wanted to get this knight here on F6. And then bring the queen around, like this. So he goes Bishop C5, and I was like, whoa. Bruh. Okay, well, I mean, now we'll appreciate it. What a knight. What a knight. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 knight moves with this knight. I mean, what a hero, right? So he goes to G7. He goes to G7, and after G7, right? Yeah, no, it's just awesome, right? So Queen G4. My idea is Queen H4. He thought for a very long time. I actually think he thought for 30 minutes. I think he thought for 30 minutes. I'm not even kidding. Which, of course, you have a lot of time to think, and you can think for 50 minutes if you want to. But I think he thought for about 30 minutes. It may even have been more than that. But he thought for a very long time. And after Queen G4, he played Bishop E7. I go Queen H4. And then he goes H5. So after H5, now what do you do, Chad? Now what do you do? Now what do you do? En passant. En croissant, right? En passant here, right? En passant, chat. Exactly. En passant. En passant, right? En passant, clap it up. Clap it up. Clap it up, chat. Clap it up. Each one of y'all getting that garbage to the face. Garbage. Oh my goodness. Garbage. Smell like sweet garbo. Garbage. Get this man off the board. That is terrible. In fact, you know what's funny? This is the worst move you can make out of all the moves you can make. He just goes back to H8, and he actually has some weird counterplay. Weirdly enough, now you're actually giving him some counterplay. Let's say you take this pawn because you think you're good. You think you know how to play this game. Bruh. Well, in fact, after pawn takes, bishop takes, now you're looking crazy. This knight is hanging. Shauna and Laura, thank you for the raid. You're just in time, Shauna and Laura. Thank you so much. Thank you for the raid. We're talking about this game that I just played in my last tournament. Right. Shauna and Laura, thank you so much for the raid. Let's get there it is. Shout out. We're right over to him. Thank you for the raid, Shauna and Laura. Guys, go ahead and follow. Okay, so this doesn't work. Like, this literally does not work at all. No problem. No problem. No problem. This doesn't work. So after H5, remember, this is called What a Knight. What a Knight, right? So after H5, the move is Y'all ready? Here we go. Now he takes h5. Now he takes h5. Hitting. There it is. Bow. Okay, so how many times did this knight move? It went from c3 to e2 to f4 to h5 to f6 back to h5. This knight was the all-star. What a knight, right? What a knight. Unintended. He takes. I go f6. He goes king g6. Now, when you find a good move, you look for a better one. This comes from Lasker. Emmanuel Lasker, right? One of the early world champions. So white to move, his king is on g6. And why did he go g6? Because, well, if he goes h8, if he goes to h7, then this is easy. Takes and then queen here, this mates, right? This mates. Or if he goes back this way, king back here, I can take, I could also play g6, which this mates. Everything mates this way as well. So in fact, this is why he went king g6, because everything else is going to mate quicker. So he thought, I'll go to g6. So king to g6 and chat. What do we do? Now, what do we do? Big wig mathematician. That's right. We strike 81. 81. F6. Of course, that's right. But now, what do we do to finish this off? We finish this with what? Bishop f5 from Wibble Wobbly. Says bishop f5. Bishop g4. Knight f5 from Padaka. So we got bishop g4, knight f5, knight f5. Thanks for the follow. Good luck. Bishop g4 and knight f5. Okay, knight f5 actually is working. It is a pretty cool one, but I mean, I don't have to actually take it. I don't have to take it at all. Bishop g4 actually is probably one of the worst moves. Garbage. Oh, it's definitely terrible. It don't really do that. It looks like it works, right? But I can actually just take it, you know, and then after you take, I can probably play queen c8 and just still be hanging on. I'm losing by a lot, but hanging on somehow. In fact, the best move here is what Red Hot Mama said, which is bishop to f1. Yes. I found this and I played this almost instantly. Bishop to f1 with the idea of bishop to d3, check and mate. Very nasty move. So bishop f1, so he goes bishop f5 himself. Boom. Bishop f5. Right, it says setting up for the next game. Exactly, setting up for the next game. I take on f5, right? You are on 5. Let's go. King takes f5, and now find the best move. What is move number 1 on the engine? Right, this is winning. You can win this 5 different ways, but I like to especially teach students as well and work on myself the accuracy. Not only that, okay, yes, you can win with all these moves. But what is the most accurate way of doing this? That is one thing that takes some skill. In fact, white to move is the most accurate move. I was able to find this. This is move number 1. Can you find it? Can you find it, chat? Bishop f3. Oh, wow. I can't even play that one. All right, that's off. Yep, can't even do that one. Then he corrected it and said d3. Bishop d3. Rook d to e1. So this one. Queen h4. Queen h3 check. Queen h3. In fact, chat. It's queen h3. Queen h3. That is the most accurate move you can make. This is what I played. Queen h3. Because if king g6, there's mate in 1. Bishop d3 check. If king to e5, you can just play queen g3. And at the very least, I can take the queen. But actually, when you find a good move, look for a better one. So here, there's bishop h3 mate. Even though the queen is hanging, I can go bishop h3 mate. Oh my goodness. That's a family channel. Let's get that off the screen. So after king f4, right, we have the same idea. Check here, okay, and then king f5, and then I can go, where's the mate? Bishop check, and then here. So there's this one's mate too. Mate everywhere. Mate everywhere. I don't even have to take. You saw that, right? You saw that, right? This was a sweet game. But here's what happened. So after bishop f5, I take king takes, queen h3, king e4. I go queen d3 check, and then he resigns. Like, and that's it. And like, what a night! What a night with a K, right? Because again, from the beginning, what did that knight do, right? So we had this, follow the knight on c3, right? Follow the knight on c3, right? So that boy had a journey. So he goes to c3, then he goes over, right, e2, moves, then he goes over to f4, h5, f6, and then back over to h5. I mean, he was the star. He was literally the star. When we got to f4, he got to h5. He got in, like, he came through. He made, like, he's like, yo, this way, the team. And then had a bomb through the door and everybody came through the back. It was easy. Knight f4, knight h5, knight f6, knight back to h5. Open up the holes for the position, and the pieces came behind it. So it was very, very nice display with the knights there, or with the knight. So what a night. This was round 2, so we're going to cover round 3 tomorrow. Make sure you guys sub to YouTube. A lot of you aren't. That's what the statistics say. So make sure you guys subscribe to the YouTube, and we'll see you on the next video.